Every one of us with little knowledge can go for a day to forage mushroom. Still, there is so little understanding about this type of organism that it's hard to know where to start. Let's explore 5 facts that help you to become a better mushroom hunter. Okay, let me start by the definition of a mushroom and fungus, as I know that in many languages they can be called the same. A mushroom is what you can imagine it is, the part that you pick and use to cook tasty dishes. But this is the only fruiting body of a bigger organism made by filaments that live underground. These filaments are called hypha, while the network of filaments is called mycelium. Therefore, a fungus is formed by a mycelium and occasionally a mushroom. I say it occasionally because there are many types of fungi in the world. We believe on having discovered only 5% of around 3 million species. Of that 5%, only 5,000 produces mushrooms, half of which can be found in the Alps. Mushroom fungus only produce mushrooms when there are the proper conditions. I will talk about this shortly. For now, you should know that a mushroom appears above the surface when it needs to sexually reproduce. Wait. Don't even think about this. The way it works is through spore dispersal that is contained in the cap. Think about spores as seeds that stand nearby the cap, if they're not being carried by any animal. Once they settle, they tend to go below the surface and sprout by forming a hypha. They will eventually meet another hypha and connect. They connect just like our neurons when the brain develops. As they meet and find the proper conditions, they produce another mushroom. And the cycle goes on and on. Generally speaking, when I say perfect condition, I mean a temperature that is not too cold, not too warm. Let's say between 10 and 15 degrees Celsius, and a high level of humidity. Where I do live in the Alps, these conditions are optimal towards the end of the summer, when the tropical shower slowly decreases the temperature and at the same time provide the right humidity level where mushrooms can thrive above the surface. These conditions may slightly differ depending on where you live and your local climate. One thing that is for sure is that in recent years things have become a little bit tougher due to climate change. Let's share some know-how. If you know where is the best season in your area, please leave a comment below so others can learn from you too. Generally, mushrooms are found in moist, shady environments where there is plenty of food for them. Fungi are like animals. They eat organic material to survive because they lack chlorophyll. If you want to learn more about chlorophyll, I link a video here that better explains what it is. Food is available everywhere for fungi, even those producing mushrooms. This is the reason why you find fungi anywhere in the world, from just below the snow line to any kind of forest. Their food can range from small branches to leaves when we refer to those living in the forest. However, their relationship with the trees is a love and hate one. Some click immediately, others bring diseases, and others just take what they need to survive. This relationship is a physical connection of the hypha with the roots of the tree. This wood wide web works as an extension of the tree in the search for nutrients and water, especially for those small trees covered by taller ones. In return, the fungus gains direct access to the glucose produced with the photosynthesis. That's why most of the time you go for mushroom forage in the forest and you look them close to trees. But not all trees love every fungus, and there are other way around. So if you embark in an expedition to find a particular type of mushroom, you need extra help. Fungi finders use the 3 types to find the mushroom they look for. Let me explain. Think of a mushroom. I'm sure you're thinking about this one, the fly agaric, the iconic mushrooms, which by the way is toxic, so please don't eat it. They are found in proximity of birches. Another example is the lilac milk caps that are found near an alder tree, and together they are found near water. And the list can go on and on for all the thousands of species we know. Do you see now why no mushroom hunter will ever tell you where he or she goes to forage? Better to keep the El Dorado for yourself when you find it. Jokes aside, there is some serious study at home and observation being done in the field that comes with practice. Now that you know 3 facts out of 5 about mushrooms, I hope you see the value of this video. If you do, please consider subscribing to the channel. For you, it's just a click, but for me it allows to continue creating videos like this one. Back to the facts then. Good. So far you learned what is a mushroom, when to find them, and where to look for them. But not all mushrooms are created equal, and some are extremely dangerous to the humans because of their poison. Why is that the case? Well, it comes down to the species survival. As mushrooms, they don't last long. Mushrooms carry spores, and if animals eat the cap, then all job is vanished. So they need a way to protect themselves. Some poisonous mushrooms, also called toadstool, are deadly, while others provide only temporary sickness. Only 1 or 2% of mushrooms are poisonous to humans, so not a lot. But better not to defy the odds, as there is no rule of thumb to follow. The best advice I can give to you is to buy a local mushroom guide and begin foraging with some experts that can pass their knowledge to you. Okay, now that you've found mushrooms and you are sure they are in toadstool, what should you do? First, you should be aware of local laws. Then, you should know that you can grab only a certain weight per person, which is normally around 2 or 3 kilos, depending of course on the type of mushrooms. You have learned how mushrooms are vital to the ecosystem, so I do strongly suggest obeying the rules, no matter how tasty your risotto may be with more mushrooms. Once you're ready to pick the mushrooms, you can either choose to rip them off with a circular movement or cut them at the base with a knife. Both ways seems to be okay for the survival of fungus. What is important is that you should leave some caps where they are, so you can ensure some spore dispersal and therefore increase the odds that next year you may find new ones there. And remember to softly place them in those old-style wooden baskets with the holes, as they're extremely effective in dropping spores on your journey back to the car. Talking about car, let me give you just one last piece of advice. Don't pick mushrooms too close to the streets, as they absorb heavy metals like mercury and radioactivities above the standards. And with this, we reached the end of the video. It's my hope that you learn enough to go out and find some mushrooms. Before you do that, remember to share this video with your friends. That's all folks, from the Alpine Academy, the place that helps you discover the outdoors. Happy mushroom hunting!